Thank you for tuning in to Terry Swoop Videos. I wanted to talk about rent and how everybody is struggling to pay their rent. Now, I'm living in Las Vegas right now, and I was talking to an Uber driver, and he was telling me that he's struggling to pay his rent. Nobody is calling an Uber because everything is shut down in Vegas. All the casinos are shut down in Vegas. All the clubs are shut down in Vegas. So if you're an Uber driver that earns your living picking up rides, it's going to be hard for you to earn your money because everything is shut down in Vegas and in every major city for that matter. So he was telling me that he's struggling to pay his rent because he has no way to earn enough money to pay his rent. And a lot of people are having this problem. This is why I think the government should tell every landlord to cancel everybody's rent for at least 3 months. For the next 90 days, every landlord in the country should have to cancel everybody's rent for the next 3 months. Because if you're a working class person who lives paycheck to paycheck, you can't possibly pay your rent during these 3 months because everybody is going to be quarantined for the next 3 months, especially if you live in a major city. If you live in a major city, everything is going to be shut down for the next 3 months. And they've already told everybody to stop going to work. And if you can't go to work, you can't earn a living. If you can't earn a living, you can't pay your rent. Now, I have plenty of savings, so I'm not going to have a problem paying my rent. But for most people who don't have savings are going to be they're going to be out of luck. They're really going to hit hard times because they don't have any savings. This is why I always keep money saved up for a rainy day. And this is that rainy day. People always thought I was crazy for always saving up my money. Because a lot of people in my family, when they get money, they spend it. My mother never saves up money. My brothers and sisters never save up their money. I'm the only person in my family that saves up my money. Every time I get paid, I take half of my money and put it in the bank. And this is why I always have savings. And I will advise any person to do this. This way, when something like this happens, you got something to fall back on. But most people in the country live paycheck to paycheck. And if you live paycheck to paycheck, you're going to really be hitting hard times. A lot of people are going to end up homeless during these 3 months. The government is saying they're going to give everybody $1,000 check, but that's not enough. If you live in a major city where your rent is $1,200 a month, $1,000 a month, in some cities it's $2,000 and $3,000 a month, and that's not including your daily expenses, whether it be groceries, your utility bills. If you live in a major city, your monthly expenses could be $2,000 to $3,000 a month. That's what the average expenses is for people that live in major cities, whether it be New York or San Francisco or Miami. You're going to really be struggling. You're probably going to end up getting evicted if they don't stop charging people rent. This is why every landlord in the country should be forced to not charge people rent for the next 3 months. This is the only way a lot of people are going to survive and keep a roof over their head. Otherwise, they're going to end up homeless. They're going to be homeless living on the streets. And it's going to be sad to see entire families living on the streets, living out of their car. And it hasn't hit the summer yet, so it's still kind of chilly outside. So a lot of people are going to hit hard times. A lot of people are going to end up homeless if they don't cancel everybody's rent. Donald Trump needs to come out and say that every person's rent should be canceled for the next 3 months. Now, some people are going to say this is not constitutional because the government doesn't have the right to tell independent landlords to not charge people rent. I don't know if this is constitutional or not, but I'm saying this is what should happen. Nobody should be charged rent during these times of crisis, especially if you live in a working class neighborhood. If you live in a working class area, you shouldn't be charged rent during these crises. Now, if you live in Beverly Hills, if you live in a rich upper class mansion area, then you can afford to pay your rent because you're not going to be hitting hard times. You got millions of dollars in the bank. But if you live in a working class neighborhood with working class people who live paycheck to paycheck, every one of these people should have their rent canceled for the next 90 days. So tell me in the comment section whether you agree with this or not. Should everybody's rent be canceled, or should everybody be forced to pay rent during these times of crisis? A lot of people have different opinions about this topic. Leave a comment, rate, and subscribe.